Good morning, Doubles and Coffee, U97.5 FM, hot like pepper. This critical issue that is going on in Trinidad and Tobago has gotten worse. Faris Al-Rawi has not denied that this document that surfaced on social media and what its existence was confirmed by the Newsday and other media houses of a purported negotiation between Faris Al-Rawi as Attorney General on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago and a witness in what is now a criminal case. Criminal charges have been laid. So I will stare very carefully around this because the DPP made it very clear that the media and personnel, the population, should not discuss anything that is sub judice. However, there are some very worrying issues that need to be discussed in general terms on this matter and in matters involving the separation of powers, the jobs, duties, responsibilities of the Attorney General as opposed to those of the independent office of the DPP with this matter. So I will not focus on anything that should be sub judice, but I will focus on what is in the public domain, written by newspapers, printed in newspapers, like the Newsday on October 2nd, where they got to the DPP, the Honorable DPP, and let me be clear. Coming from two lawyers and being in a family of 6 lawyers, I have utmost respect for certain aspects of the judiciary and the independence therein. In a country where independent institutions have been corrupted and perverse by the PNM, especially this Rowley PNM, I believe, whether naively or not, that the DPP office is fiercely independent. They try to do their jobs to the utmost of their professional legal training, and I hold firm that that is one of the bastions of democracy that is still functioning to some sort of independent level, as well as the judiciary. Some of you all may say, Anil, you're very naive and dotish. Well, that is my belief. So therefore, I will stay clear of anything that could be considered specific to a case. However, Faris Al-Rawi has not denied that the document exists. And once Faris Al-Rawi does not deny vehemently and shout, and then tries to claim sub judice, you know that the document is real. The DPP has stated in a Newsday article that he was not privy to any negotiations. He has not seen sight of any document, and he has not seen any agreement, and no agreement could be rescinded because he has not seen it and his office is not privy to that. Furthermore, he said the Attorney General, and he threw it out there quite en passant, that if there was an agreement, then it would be in civil proceedings because the Attorney General has no locus standi, no authority whatsoever to intervene in criminal matters. And that's where the problem lies. Because in that document, a Newsday is claiming that they have information that the document forms part of the disclosure of the prosecution's case to the defense attorneys and to the defense counsel. So Newsday is claiming that sources on the defense team have said they have sight of that, and that forms part and parcel of the case. Now that worries me, because if that is so, and if it was disclosed as part and parcel of the case, then the DPP would have seen it and he knows about it. Now, whether he was privy to it and so on, he said no. But has he seen it? Does it exist? Al-Rawi has not denied it. The defense says it exists. The signatures look exactly like that of Faris Al-Rawi. The letter that he gave out with his Porsche salesman a la rental matches perfectly. It was printed in the papers. So they have some questions to be asked in general. And it's very worrying. Because remember, all independent institutions in this country have collapsed. The Police Service Commission has just collapsed. The office of the President is in question. The Prime Minister has not answered the question, and like the media is afraid to ask the question. Honorable Prime Minister, did you attend the office of the President on August 12th to intercept Bliss Sibasad, which excited her so much that led to the collapse of the Police Service Commission, led to interference, intervening, and the political machinations behind the scenes of an independent institution which is supposed to choose a commissioner of police to control, direct, and manage the independent police service in Trinidad and Tobago to ensure that no one is above the law and that our democracy is upheld. Mr. Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley, were you at President's house on August 12th? You're talking all kind of thing, all kind of nonsense, but you're not answering the question. Madam President Paula May Weeks, was the Honorable Prime Minister at your residence on August 12th? Where's the logbook? Security officers, people in the parking, secretariat, receptionists at President's house. Did the Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley attend the President's house on August 12th? Special branch, were you all there at President's house on August 12th? These are very simple questions. Why is it such a secret? How come the great investigative media cannot find out? But in this case, I want to ask some general questions, especially of the Law Association, the DPP's office, anybody who understands the functioning of the DPP's office. Did the interference, negotiation, discussion, enticement done by Faris Al-Rawi on behalf of the government, the cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, occur before the DPP's office made initial contact with QC Nelson as a suspect witness or otherwise? Did this happen before? Because the DPP is saying that anything that happened before he don't know about plea agreement, which is fine. And can we explain the notarized statement? Will the notarized statement, they said in the notarized statement, it said that the statement given in the indemnity agreement, it said that the notarized statement given by the witness will be disclosed to the DPP. I am asking in general terms to the DPP, can an Attorney General talk to anyone, induce them, offer them anything to give a statement and involve and call the office of the DPP and state that the Attorney General is representing or acting as an agent to disseminate information to the independent office of the DPP? So forget this case. I am asking in general, is that on? Is that normal practice? Is that convention? Is that protocol for a politically appointed Attorney General to talk to, negotiate with, discuss with, and sign a document with, which includes clauses that he or she, the Attorney General, will conduct some sort of business communication interface or interference with the DPP? Is that normal? And if it is not so, what is that called? What does that amount to? Does that amount to interference, interface, misbehavior in public office, witness tampering? I am asking as a citizen, I am not a lawyer. I would love to know. But it said, and the DPP worried me, he said, that maybe that may have occurred, but it would have been amounting to civil proceedings because the Attorney General has local standard in civil proceedings. But in the document itself, it says, but will not be disclosed to any criminal investigatory and or prosecuting authority, tax enforcement authority, etc., outside of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, that's another question. Is it normal and right in law, in our jurisdiction, for anybody, any legal officer, to offer someone the safety and security of keeping secrets, of not sharing information with international organizations? Does that breach any treaties that Trinidad and Tobago is party of? Does that breach the Rio Treaty? Does that breach any of the treaties we have with the OAS or the United States or Interpol or our terrorist interlink between countries? Does that breach it? That an Attorney General could say, well, you tell us something and we will keep it secret, whatever it is, and we won't share it with our allies and our people who we have signed treaties with? These are very interesting questions that not only are for the DPP, but for people in foreign affairs, missions, former ambassadors. Please answer. No civil proceedings. Now, this is what worries me. The document states, and they say it's part of the bundle, The document says, and the DPP said that maybe it is civil proceedings because he had nothing to do with it, he has seen nothing, and you have to ask the Attorney General. But when we read the document signed by Faris Al-Rawi, it states that no civil proceedings of any nature whatsoever will be commenced against you in respect of any matter arising out of the notarized statement. So unfortunately, Mr. DPP, Al-Rawi said that it's not about any civil proceedings. So clearly, there are only civil proceedings and another kind of proceedings. So if the document states that whatever you say will not and cannot be used against you by the Attorney General, then I'm asking, the document then stepped into the bounds of criminal proceedings. And if a document steps into the bounds under the authority of the DPP, is anyone holding Attorney General office allowed to do that? Is that good form? Is that legal? Is it illegal? Is it misbehavior in public office? Is it interfering? What is it? Can the Attorney General get involved in witness statements of a criminal nature which fall as part of the ambit and the control of the DPP? The Attorney General undertakes to recommend to the DPP. Can an Attorney General recommend witnesses, charges, to charge, not to charge to a DPP office in any matter? Is that within the duties and the oath of office of an Attorney General to come or call or write a DPP's office and suggest, recommend, beg, beseech, or interfere in any form of criminal charges to be laid or not to be laid? I would love to know. My understanding is that is not on, that cannot exist, that a politician cannot instruct, request, defend, beg, beseech, or get involved in the independent work of the DPP. Let me see. He said no criminal, of the matters arising out of the notarized statement, that no criminal proceedings will be commenced against you. This is a very serious thing. A total and complete indemnity against all civil proceedings. So, now I'm going to deal with things that are still not sub judice because I'm going very slowly, very calmly. It is very serious. Let's just wrap it up now. Does the AG have the authority to bind the DPP's office? Yes or no? In any matter. Is it proper for an Attorney General to recommend, request, beseech, interfere, intervene in any way with a matter before the DPP? Please define witness tampering by any member or members of the government. What is that? What is witness tampering? What does that charge entail? What are the tenets or the makeups of that charge? Is promising something that cannot be delivered considered negotiating in bad faith? So if the Attorney General offered somebody something that he could not deliver or did not have the power under his office so to do, is that document valid? Did he offer it in bad faith? Therefore, if that was the rationale and reason and impetus for anything following, does that mean that everything following comes from a poisoned chalice? I would like to know. I am not a lawyer. I'm a citizen. I am asking because the independence of the DPP office is one thing holding up this country. And if we allow it to sink, then we are sunk. If promises are made to a potential witness in bad faith by someone unauthorized to do so, is this also witness tampering? Please explain. You stated it must involve right. What are the consequences of an Attorney General overstepping their boundaries and interfacing, influencing, and or interfering with a witness in a criminal proceeding? What can come of that? In general, not in this specific case, any Attorney General, any DPP, the principles of separation of power. What can come out? What are the consequences of an Attorney General overstepping his or her bounds with the DPP's office? So, Mr. DPP, is the DPP's office still independent? I am not being facetious. I really am asking you. because every other independent institution has gone by the wayside. So please answer these questions in general terms. Forget the specific case. That will go to court and that them lawyers will deal with that. Me are interested in that. But this seems very dangerous. And this should not be left for us, the population, to speculate. We need brilliant, reasoned, rational, specific responses to general positions. Does an Attorney General have the authority, the right, the rule, the duty to do what this Attorney General did? I know it went long, but it's Doubles and Coffee on U97.5 FM. Bless. Good morning, neighbor.